Welcome to one of the quietest international airports in the world. Even at noon on a weekday, there's no traffic snarling this main terminal. And you can spend a half an hour on the airport's observation deck in the middle of the day and not observe a single plane taking off. But something's going on here.
Well, 10 tons of cocaine and jets from Tampa Bay. Mexican police say their drug lords are buying cargo planes right here in Pinellas County.
10 tons of cocaine?
Right here in River City? Hi, I'm Daniel Hopsiker, and welcome to the new American Drug Lords. I'm standing in front of a famous place that you won't recognize now. This used to be the familiar blue awning of Huffman Aviation, where Mohammed Atta and Marwan al-Shehhi, terrorist pilots that took down the World Trade Center, learned to fly. But they did a complete facelift of it several years ago, and it's a perfect example of the secret history, the history that they're anxious to eradicate as soon as possible.
The story of a DC-9 from St. Petersburg raised some big red flags.
First thing that caught our eye when a DC-9 was caught with 5.5 tons of cocaine was that the company that owned the plane listed its address at one time as Huffman Aviation. And this would not be this address's first brush with major narcotics. During the same month that Mohammed Atta arrived to attend Huffman Aviation, his flight school, the flight school's owner, Wally Hilliard, had his Learjet confiscated on a runway at Orlando Executive Airport with 43 pounds of heroin on board.
This lies well outside the realm of coincidence. We've been reporting exclusive stories about the DC-9 5.5-ton cocaine bust for over 2 years. For a long time, we were the only media outlet that covered it. Surprisingly, the huge drug bust didn't generate a lot of news coverage.
Mexican authorities have seized 5.5 tons of cocaine on board a U.S. commercial plane that took off from Venezuela. Soldiers found 128 black suitcases with the drugs, which were neatly divided into 1-kilogram packages. The military commander said it appeared that the drugs were prepared to be moved. Officials arrested the Venezuelan co-pilot of the plane and 2 other men who'd arrived in the city on Sunday and were believed to be waiting for the cargo. The U.S. pilot escaped.
And then it happened again. This plane, a Gulfstream business jet, hadn't been painted to impersonate a U.S. government plane. This plane had been one. Flying missions for the CIA to Colombia as part of the U.S.'s drug interdiction assistance to the government of Colombia for at least a half-dozen years. Somebody has been engaging in a conspiracy to import over 10 tons of cocaine worth more than $500 million. But the American owners of these 2 planes weren't rousted out of bed in the middle of the night by DEA agents. So what's going on? We weren't sure yet, but we weren't ruling anyone out. Then the scandal mushroomed last year.
This Gulfstream jet was high with cocaine, miles high, until it came crashing down on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Soldiers found 132 bags filled with 3.5 tons of cocaine, but no sign of any people. This plane is registered to a Florida aviation company.
But what was impressive is the skepticism with which the official story was received.
Tampa Bay, Mexican police say their drug lords are buying cargo planes right here in Pinellas County. Fox 13's Craig Patrick is live out at the St. Pete Clearwater Airport to show why our government can't stop them. Craig.
Well, Kelly, we can all see the commercial airlines. They rent the space right here at the terminal, but there are also private businesses that rent space on the other side of the tarmac, and Homeland Security does not keep track of what they sell or who buys it. St. Pete Clearwater Airport.
You want to know what's coming in and what's going out, and if they're not keeping track of that, anything could happen.
Private plane brokers rent space at the public airport and sell jets for profit. Mexican police say members of their Sinaloa drug cartel showed up with money and made off with jets.
Renting out space, you'd think there'd be a lot more paperwork involved in everything.
The airport director said it's not his job to scrutinize his tenants. The FAA said it's not their job either. Homeland Security also does not police who buys and sells private jets at our public airports. Neither does the Transportation Security Agency. They screen every passenger, but they don't screen smugglers who want to buy entire jets.
They make you take your jacket off, they make you take your belt off, they make you take almost everything off. And here you've got a major drug dealer doing something right in our own backyard, and there's no law to stop that from happening.
Commissioner John Maroney and other county leaders want action.
Something definitely has to be done from Homeland Security and the national level.
There's a price to pay for this hypocrisy, but most of the paying so far has been done south of the border. In 2005, the global trade in illegal drugs topped over $400 billion, or roughly the same amount spent on food. Drug trafficking is the most widespread and lucrative organized crime activity in the world, accounting for an estimated 40% of the business. Every hour, there's another $25 million worth of drug money to launder. FAA registration records of the DC-9 seized in Mexico revealed that the plane has been owned by a succession of people who break the law but always get off. Companies which can't pay their bills but can't afford to buy jets and engage with seeming impunity in ongoing and continuing criminal enterprise that rakes in millions while government agencies look the other way. They're a charmed circle of the privileged with permission from our watchdog federal law enforcement agencies to back up a truck. Not since the massive cocaine smuggling through Mena, Arkansas, has the CIA's hand been so flagrantly caught in the cookie jar. Support independent investigative journalism, order the New American Drug Lords, or make a PayPal donation at madcowprod.com.